Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'll be breaking down a boxing main event. On April 4th, this Saturday, we will be having a pretty important boxing fight in the heavyweight division where there's some interesting divisional relevancy for one fighter, and for the other, it is his going away party in his home country of Britain. So, in our boxing main event, we have Derek Chisora for taking on Deontay Wilder. This is going to be quite interesting because this will be the 50th fight in both men's career. Both of them have exactly 49 fights. So after this, both of them will have a combined 100 fights, win or lose. Now, for Derek Chisora, this will be his retirement fight. He's had a long, storied career, fought some of the best this division had to offer, like a Tyson Fury, and a few others, if I may, real quick. Just looking at, like I said, 42, 49 fights. Like I said, storied career. And he's fought like Joseph Parker, Alexander Usyk. He's fought some of the who's in the heavyweight division nowadays. Now he takes on Deontay Wilder, who, while Wilder's not retiring in this fight, this does feel like it has some very much significance in his career. Because while I had heard that Wilder would take on Alexander Usyk, win or lose, you would think a win for him would elevate it to much more importance with him fighting Usyk, who, granted, is fighting Rico Verhoeven in May, but still. But a loss here would not do Deontay Wilder any favors, especially if he, let's say he loses his fight, then gets the Usyk fight. It feels like, what's the point of this fight? Or sorry, what would be the point of that fight? So, sneakily, this is a very important fight for two guys. Because for Chisora, it's, the fairy tale ending, getting to retire or off not only a win, but in your home country. For Deontay Wilder, is a bit more of validation for this. Now, looking at our two fighters, like I said, this is one where it's like just two veterans, two hard, heavy hitters, and two guys who have taken just a lot of damage over the years. I can tell you now, this is not prime versus prime. No, because, Chisora's 42, Wilder's in his 40s. And while it is heavyweight, you can be in your 40s and have success. It's, there's only so many George Foremans you can think of who had that level of success. So for me, it's kind of about what's left in either man's career. Now, looking at Derek Chisora, at this stage, everyone kind of knows exactly what he is. Relentless pressure, or constant forward movement, and a guy who will make it ugly, physical, and exhausting. Not trying to make it a pretty fight, but trying to drag his opponents through the mud with him. So for Chisora, he's going to walk forward, throw looping shots, work the body, and lean on you in the clinch. And more importantly, he's very tough. You are not knocking out Chisora out clean without a fight. Granted, Tyson Fury did TKO him, but that was Chisora's last loss in a little over 3 years ago. So even at this stage of his career, it's pretty tough to finish the guy. So even at this stage, Chisora will always make you work to not only finish him, but just fight. You know what I mean? He's a guy who will drag you through the mud, make it exhausting, and at the end of the day, it is a battle of endurance, and he trusts himself to win. Now, for Deontay Wilder, even after everything, he still might be the most powerful puncher in heavyweight history. You look at his statistics of 44 wins for Deontay Wilder's career. 1 second. Phooey. Sorry, I was about to say how many wins he has via knockout, but basically he has about a 96% knockout rate, which is more than just about every other heavyweight, I believe, in history, even more than Mike Tyson. And for Deontay Wilder, that right hand is the moneymaker. He's the bronze bomber for a reason. That right hand is quite literally a bomb, and just about everybody he's faced gets knocked out or just knocked down with senseless because of it. And it only takes one for Deontay Wilder. But here's the issue. Everything else around that right hand has declined over the years. I do think Deontay Wilder is past his prime. His activity is low. His confidence looks shaky at times. You see some of it in the interviews Deontay Wilder does where he doesn't even want to mention his losses to Tyson Fury. His durability isn't what it used to be. And overall, his fundamentals, Like, his fundamentals were never that strong to begin with. Like, his jab was all right. It would set up the right hand fine, especially in his prime. But overall, you look at some of Deontay Wilder's like footwork, movement, and how does his other punches flow, right? The jab to the right hand, the hook to the uppercut. His fundamentals were never his strong suit, but he always had the great equalizer. That was his power, or as some would call it, the great eraser. So though, if Deontay Wilder doesn't land the right hand clean, he looks very limited. You saw like in the Joseph Parker fight where he didn't really know what to do. With Parker being able to survive not only the right hand, but able to neutralize it multiple times. So looking at it stylistically, this fight comes down to pressure versus power. Chisora is going to force exchanges. He's not going to give Wilder space to set up comfortably. For me, I think Chisora is going to crowd Wilder, push him back, and just make it a messy fight. And Wilder historically struggles when he's being pressured, or he can't set his feet, and he's forced into uncomfortable exchanges. How do I want to say this? Tyson Fury sort of cracked the code or put out the blueprint in order to beat Wilder. You have to bully the bully, because you notice Wilder is not as good on his back foot as he is on his front foot. Tyson Fury, he unlocked that code years ago, and now most fighters do it. You've seen it in not just the Fury loss, but like I said, the Joseph Parker loss and the Zhang loss as well. So here's the key question: can Wilder land the right hand? That's it. That's literally the question. Because if he does, fight's over. I think he can knock out Chisora. Even at this stage, Wilder is still an incredibly hard hitter. And like they always say, power is the last thing to go. But if he doesn't, he's likely getting dragged into a fight he doesn't want. And at this stage of Wilder's career, that's going to be a problem. So for my final assessment, is Chisora going to lose rounds? Yeah, maybe. Is he going to get hit? Maybe. But Chisora, he's going to keep coming forward. And if Wilder can't get him out early, this is going to turn into a grind. A dirty, physical, exhausting fight. And I think that favors Chisora. Like I said, there's always the risk of Chisora getting knocked out, or hell, there's always a risk of anybody Deontay Wilder fights getting knocked out. But I think at this stage of his career, I got to lean towards the fellow heavyweight veteran. I'm going to go with Derek Chisora here, and I'm going to pick him via late TKO. I think he survives the early dangers, drags Wilder into deep waters, and wins through pressure, volume, and just sheer toughness. Again, at this point, I just think Deontay Wilder is past his prime, and the problems that have plagued him throughout his career, even in his prime, are even more magnified now. So, once again, I'm picking Derek Chisora in this fight, and I'm going to pick him via late TKO. With that being said, that's been my breakdown of this matchup. If you'd enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on who you think's going to win. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Remember, stay calm, stay respectful, and enjoy the violence. I'll see y'all next time.